Great afternoon, great evening, happy Sunday. Y'all, it's Sunday and we lived to see it. It's a day that we've not seen before and a day that will never come around this same way. So I don't know about you, but I am mighty glad that I was in the number to see it and experience it today. Y'all do me a favor. Go ahead and drop in that chat. Hey, y'all. Hello, my queens and my kings. How are you doing today? It's a beautiful day to be alive, y'all. It truly, truly is. And you guys know how to help us. You know that you can help us easily by hitting like, hitting share, tagging somebody, telling them to join us today on this quick conversation because y'all know we are here for a good time, not a long time. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so excited to have you. And listen, while you're dropping that in there, what's in your cup today? What are you drinking today? And what was a win from last week? Y'all know we are intentional. Y'all know BOSS stands for being bold, optimistic, spontaneous, and substantial. A part of us intentionally showing up in the space as the best version of ourselves, it starts in our minds, folks. So you got to start training yourself to look for the good stuff around you, to look for the wins, to celebrate them. So go ahead and share them with us because we want to share. What was a win for you from last week? And what are you drinking? What's in those cups? So let me go ahead and tell you. Okay, y'all, I have been kind of wilding out. All right, I'm just going to be honest because we are gold friends. We are the boss tribe. We hold each other accountable. I really have been wilding out the last really week and a half. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I've been eating anything. Like, I even been like real life drinking like sweet tea for real. Like, we say that, but I like McDonald's. I know. Like, what is wrong with me? Right. So the next couple of days, I'm like, I got to get my mind back. Right. And so it starts with your mind. Right. Everything starts with your mind. I'm detoxing for the next 3 days. So if somebody wants to join me on my detox, let me know. But right now, I am drinking some peach detox tea. That's what's in my cup. A win for me from this past week. Oh my goodness, y'all. It's been so really, really, really good. I'll just start with yesterday. Yesterday, I had an amazing opportunity to be in community with some fabulous ladies who are doing amazing life-changing work in all types of fields, right? From medicine to education. Even had someone who was in the space who was running for mayor, and we are definitely wishing her well. I see you. Hello, Atlanta. We'll be in Atlanta in 2 weeks. We're about to support a school outside of Atlanta in about 2 weeks. So we're excited to have that new partnership. Y'all, we're so excited about this topic tonight. It's one and don't forget, y'all, drop in the chat, drop a hello, drop a hey, tell us what you're drinking, and don't forget to like and share this video. But we are so excited tonight to jump into a conversation that is ever more relevant. It's pressing. And I think that it's always timely. A lot of my lives, matter of fact, 100% of them are in response to something that I am coaching someone through. It's in response to, y'all are so amazing. Y'all send me messages, you send me emails, you send me responses. And so tonight's topic is truly in response to a lot of communication that I have been supporting people through lately. And it's what do you do when life is not going the way that you want it to? Adversity is coming, right? Trials, tribulations, they're coming. So what now? What do you do when those things come knocking at your doorstep? And so tonight we are going to quickly explore just a few things that really can help you move through life, and regardless of what happens, to get better versus bitter. Join me. I think that we all can name a person or two, or even go look in the mirror, if we can be honest, and identify someone who dealt with an extreme life situation, personally or professionally, and they got hard behind it. They got hard and they stayed hard, right? They got angry one time, and you have not seen them in any other state other than angry, right? They got hurt one good time, and you've not seen them in any other state other than hurt, right? We can all identify that. And we also can identify someone who's done the opposite. Someone who, life, they got hit really hard, but their bounce back game was amazing. They bounced back from it. They're better for it. And so tonight, that's what we're talking about. And so we're going to jump right on in. And y'all know we're ready to make boss moves. Don't forget to like, follow, and share our page with friends. Here we go. So what is my first tip? My first recommendation for someone to make sure that as life is happening, as that pressure is coming, you are intentionally getting better, not bitter, right? And that's the goal tonight. How do we move in such a way that regardless of what's happening, I choose to let this make me a better, elevated version of myself from it? The first thing is this, y'all. We've got to acknowledge that the hurt happened in order to accelerate the heal. How many of us have a hard time with acknowledging when we're not okay? Like my friends, it's okay not to be okay. Drop that in the chat for me. It is okay to not always feel like you're okay. It's okay. And so we have been conditioned, especially women, and I'll even say men, right? I see you guys. I see y'all. We've been conditioned to handle hard things and not feel emotion behind it. Like we've been conditioned to, yeah, that hurt, that was supposed to hurt your feelings, but sis, no, it didn't hurt your feelings. Keep it moving. No, I can acknowledge that it hurt my feelings and I can keep it moving, right? So it's critically important that we stop and we pause and we say, it's okay that I'm not okay. It's just not okay to stay there. So the first tip and the first thought that I want us to think through tonight is, how do I acknowledge this hurt and accelerate the heal? I'm in one of the principals, the administrators group, the assistant principals group, and the last 3 weeks, there have just been a multitude of people who are talking about, I applied for a principal spot, or I applied for a new assistant principal spot. And either I got an interview and the interview was, the reviews from the interview was negative, right? Or I didn't even get an interview, right? And I know factually that they know I'm the best candidate because I've been running this building for 5 years. I've been the sitting assistant principal for 5 years. I've watched 3 other principals go, leave. I've trained them. And they would not give me an opportunity to sit in the seat, right? So many times we deal with that, right? And we just, it's okay. Let me keep it moving. Yes, you've got to keep it moving, but it is okay. You are human and it's okay to feel hurt, right? It is okay to feel hurt. We've got to own those emotions. First thing that I want you to remind you here, name it, right? Name it to tame it. Drop that in the chat. We're going to name it to claim it, right? So what does that look like? That looks like me saying, I feel sad because I was looked over and I thought that I had done the put in the reps here at this job, right? That's professionally. Personally, it looks like I feel hurt because I thought me and my friend had built a trusting relationship and they wouldn't do that to me, right? So many times we don't even give ourselves space to acknowledge our feelings. And so we want to name it, right? To tame it. What happens is we act like it's not a big deal. I'm okay. And deep down, it's like you're burning. You keep saying, I'm okay. And then 3 months down the road, you blow up at somebody in the car rider line because their car looked like the person that hurt your feelings, right? It's these random things. But again, we've got to learn to deal with that. Something else that's critically important when you're talking about adversity and feeling the hurt is it's kind of like ICU, right? We can acknowledge it, we can sit in it, but we've got to give ourselves some time limits with some of these things. And grief is tricky. Talking about grief, sometimes we only look at grief as being you lost a loved one, the death of someone, but it also is you realizing that there is a valley between what you wanted your present reality to be and what it actually is, right? So it's not always just the loss of a loved one, it's the loss of a future that you thought was there, or a loss of a present situation. So we in that, just know it's tricky. Just know that. So I'm not saying don't take your time. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying in the emotions, immediately in that way. Emotions are visitors. Emotions are visitors. Why are you giving a visitor that you really don't want to be well acquainted with? Why are you giving them a key to your house for them to just sit up and camp? Right. And we know in some states we got squatter laws. Like after it's sitting there and you give it a key, it's there. So remember that emotions are just like visitors. So don't Don't give it a key to your home, right? We're going to feel the thing. And then we're like, okay, girl, you got to get out of here. Guy, you got to let those things go. Something else, and you hear me say this every time, it's critically important. I post workout videos multiple times throughout the week because it's not just about what you physically look like. It's not just about what you physically, and we are so many of us, we are so vain, right? We are so vain. We are so much more invested in what we physically look like than what we really look like, right? The reality, right? The unedited, unfiltered version of you. What does that look like? And so walking is a way to really help your whole body. Physically, mentally, spiritually, socially, beautiful things happen when you just walk, right? So the three things that I want you to help remember when we're looking at this thought around acknowledging the hurt to accelerate the heal, we want to name it, to tame it, right? Not to keep it in love, but we want to name it so we can tame it, keep a hold on that thing. We want to set a limit so that we're not just like, I'm mad and I've been mad for 3 weeks straight. Like I woke up mad, went to sleep mad. I'm eating my breakfast mad. I'm watching the Wheel of Fortune mad. Like, no, don't do that. You're setting yourself up for failure. Y'all know in Boss Moves, we talk about time and energy tanks. You got to remember every day, all day, you only have a certain amount of time and energy every day. So we want to spend it wisely. So spending it wisely is allowing yourself to acknowledge, yeah, I have an issue, but I'm not going to stay in there, right? And then the last thing is to walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out. It's very important that you do that. Feel it, but don't let it frame your future. So that's the first thing that I first thought through that, around those three things that can help you through making sure that you move forward better and not bitter. And listen, one day when I'm retired, I'm going to write another book and it's going to be a bestseller because y'all going to be like, what? That happened to you? Let me tell you this. And listen to me carefully. Every successful person you know survived a season that you did not see. Let me sip my tea on that. I want to say that again. Matter of fact, drop that in the chat. Every successful person you know, I can guarantee you they've survived a season that you did not see. Drop that in the chat. I'm going to wait on that one because I need you to think about that. Talking about acknowledging the hurt and accelerating the heal. I think sometimes we buy into this notion that it's just me. It's just me. No, baby. Everybody who's made it anywhere in life has had to jump some hurdles. And so a part of jumping the hurdle is understanding that, yep, I got hurt. I got burnt. It did not feel good. It was not great. I am not happy about it, right? I'm not happy about it. But when we learn, right, it's a part of the process. We get better and not bitter, right? When I tell you, every successful person you know has survived a season that you did not see. So that's the tip one that we want you guys to think through. Here we go. Thought two is about reframing. Y'all know I have background in psychology. And so through cognitive behavioral therapy, right? It's a real thing. We know research has shown us that we have the ability to reframe negative thoughts. Your mind is a powerful thing. Do y'all remember years ago those PSAs that were like, the mind is a terrible thing to waste? I think they were dropout prevention things nationwide. The mind is a terrible thing to waste, right? That is so true. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. And we don't see it that way. But y'all, if you're stuck on negative thoughts, you're wasting good energy. You're wasting your good time even, right? And research in cognitive behavioral therapy has shown us that we can reduce anxiety and depression by 50%. Drop that in the chat. Just drop by 50%. You can, by learning to reframe your thoughts, simply by learning to reframe your thoughts, you can decrease, right, anxiety, decrease depression, right? It's shown us that by up to 50%. And so you're saying, well, what does this have to do with me professionally? Hashtag teachers be out of control sometimes. I love y'all teachers, but y'all know y'all cut up sometimes, right? Supervisors be out of control. Like, people are going to be people in your professional world. And so you've got to know that if things are happening to you, how do you keep yourself positioned in purpose. You've got to keep yourself positioned in purpose if you are going to be successful, right? And so you've got to know a part of your ability to have positive impact is about how do you reframe the thoughts instead of thinking this teacher is crazy. Like I can think that, but how do I flip it in my actions? Because we know energy is contagious. So what you really think about a person, what you really feel about a person, like that, they can feel it. So you've got to constantly, I posted this the other day. I was on All Access last week, y'all. And if you watch anything in the spiritual realm, like go back and watch that. It was 3 nights. It was great. But one of the things he said, and it was just so true, like, people want a facelift, but we need a heart transplant. And so it's critically important. Like in leadership, I tied it to lead with love. Like you've got to constantly be checking yourself, checking your heart, right? And reflecting on who you are and how you're thinking so that you can successfully navigate the people that are around you. So how do you reframe? How do you reframe? It starts with, are you asking yourself the right questions? Drop this in the chat. Refused versus refined. So, okay, let's say you applied for the position. You didn't get it. Are you going to say they refused me and all of my greatness, all of this resume and all of this grit that they know I can bring because they've seen me do it? Or are you going to say this is an opportunity for me to continue to be refined? Drop it in the chat. Refused versus refined. That's a simple thought process, right? That you can approach. Again, asking the right questions. Not why is this happening to me, but what can I learn from it? So that's what reframing is all about. It's about flipping your mindset, flipping that mindset. And again, your brain is a muscle. And I know I sound like a broken record sometimes, y'all, but this stuff is so real. And as I'm in the field, I see it. I see what happens when we work on it, and I see what happens when we don't work on it, right? So reframing, the first piece of this in reframing is like literally, what questions are you asking? And you know, as a leader, especially as an instructional coach, you need to learn to ask the right questions. It's not so much great leadership. It's not about telling people what to do. It's about revealing to them through their own thoughts different ways to process what they're doing, right? So flipping that mindset is critically important. So this is another one, and I'm going to sit back because I'm really going to take a sip of this detox tea, y'all. It's not even good, but it's okay. Sometimes the medicine isn't good, but it's exactly what you need. Your perspective can be your prison or your passport. Talking about reframing your mind and reframing your thought. What's your reframing ritual? Do you have a reframing ritual? And drop this in the chat. Is your reframing ritual can help build a prison for you and your thoughts, or it could be a passport to better lands, right? And I don't know about y'all, but I can't wait to go sit on an island real soon, right? I need my passport. I need it. You need a passport, right? Drop it in the chat. I need a passport. You need a passport to get out of sitting in negativity because we're humans. We are human beings. And so this is an emotion that is real to all of us, myself included, right? But the deal is, how do I reframe my thoughts so that I'm not there and staying there? So again, those are 2 things to think through. And then power phrases. So this is your third thing, your third process, your third tip under this reframing ritual. What's your power phrase? Y'all drop that, share those in the chat, and I'm going to share them with you guys as you're sharing it. What's your power phrase for reframing? This is one that I say often. This setback is a setup for a comeback. That's a power phrase. This setback, right, is a setup for a comeback. That may have been one of Prime's, right? But what's one of your power phrases? Again, you need to have some things that are almost, you've rehearsed them. Let me tell you this, because y'all remember the commercial where the man is dangling the dollar bill and he flaps it? He said, you got to be quicker than that. Sometimes you got to be quicker than your own thoughts. Does that make sense? Sometimes you got to already have a response ready before you think about it good, right? And so sometimes as life is happening, you need to have an immediate response to tell yourself, I like that. I see you. She says, my thought is, what's the lesson? That's my immediate. That is absolutely, that's a powerful power phrase for reframing. What's what's my lesson, right? So again, this is another one. My mother says this one. It gets greater later, right? Okay, it's not going the way that I want right now, but it gets greater later. And that's talking about you. It's talking about your evolution. It absolutely positively gets greater later if we are letting adversity make us better and not bitter. There's an old story that many of us have heard many a time if you're in an old Southern country church, right? The story about the goat, right? How the goat fell off in the well, and they thought that they were getting rid of the old goat. They were going to basically bury the thing alive, right? But what the old goat was doing is off in the well, deep down off in the well, like as they were pouring the dirt on him, he was shaking it off. He was shaking it off to the point that he was able to use what was supposed to bury him to build him. Do you hear me? And so much of that is about you having the ability to reframe your own thoughts on the spot. So again, get you one. It doesn't have to be one of the ones we said. You just get you one and stick to it. Learn it. Let it fester let it resonate in your heart. So that anytime something is coming sideways, like you have an immediate, like, nope. That's not the end of the story. Hashtag, that's not how the story ends. That is just a chapter and we are moving on, all right? She said, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. I love that one. That's a power phrase. I'm, again, refined versus refused. Talking about reframing those thoughts. And then the last one, y'all, that we want to have you think through tonight is protecting your perspective, right? I'm not saying you do not need to be open to other people. I'm not saying you don't need to be open to other trains of thought, but I am saying that you don't need to budge on your positive outlook in life, right? And not only your outlook, but your circle. Some of us think we need a crowd, but you need a circle. Some of us are looking, right, for the quality in professional connections and personal relationships, that we're looking for the quantity and versus the quality, right? So drop that in the chat. Quality versus quantity. You need people in your corner who are going to water your growth versus feed your doubt, right? So drop that in the chat. Is my perspective, even first start with yourself, is your perspective, is it watering your growth or feeding your doubt? And then the people that you are connected to, because you got to know when life hits hard, we all need somebody to lean on, right? There are random times throughout a random day that something crazy will happen. And y'all, we got a group chat. Friday night, the group chat was hot because something happened Friday and I was laughing, but I was sad too, right? Because I was like, something happened. It just did, right? In my circle, I had to tell them, I was like, y'all, we laughed for a solid hour. We laugh for a solid hour because, again, even in our group, we are training each other, y'all. Sometimes we just have to laugh at our chaos. We literally have to laugh at the chaos of life, right, to get through. And so ask yourself, who are your own thoughts first, but then in your circle. So protecting the people who are pouring into you. And I want you, this is actually homework because I'm a teacher. People ask me, what do I do for a living? I am a teacher. And I absolutely love teaching, right? So this is your homework. Talking about protecting your peace. Drop it in the chat. I want you to list 5 things. 5 things. This could be people. This could be places. This could be a song. This could be a podcast. This could be a piece of clothing. It could be anything that you deem that fills your soul. So drop it in the chat. I need you to list 5 things, create a list, and we're going to call this the soul fuel list, right? The soul fuel list. 5 things. And so much of this, y'all, we need to properly pre-plan so that when life hits, we are already prepared, right? So much of this is, think about it right now. What are 5 things that should be on your soul fuel list? Drop a few in the chat for me right now. What's something that fuels your soul? What I mean by that, it charges you. It empowers you. It makes you feel lighter. And again, sometimes those are people. Right? Sometimes it's a place. Y'all know for me, going to sit by the water, I can let all my cares go. And I'm also at the same time, I'm energized. Like I am encouraged by looking at the endless possibilities that are in front of me, right? So just knowing that, what are those five things? Again, it could be a song, a podcast, it could be people, it could be a place, it could be a program, it could be a new hobby. But again, five. So drop it in the chat for us. And make sure that you've liked this video, that you've shared it, because again, we are boss folks sharing a good boss message. We are gold friends. So, and I'm always going to give you some stats. Always going to give you some stats. This is from a recent study out of Harvard that they've done over a 75-year span of time. It's called the Grant Study. It says the quality of your relationships is the biggest predictor of happiness, long-term happiness, and health. Let me say that again. The quality of your relationships, right, is the biggest predictor of long-term happiness and health. Y'all, it clearly says not your career success, and it clearly says not how much money is in the bank. And so often, I want to say this to you, we're talking professionally. So often, the cost of the career success that we want cost us things that are priceless, cost us our family, cost us our sanity. And so the question is, knowing what we really know, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And so we want to be intentional about your impact, but you want to be intentional in keeping your sanity and reserving enough space, time, and energy for the people who absolutely mean the most in your world. So again, that's just something to think about. Again, you don't need a crowd, you need a strong circle. Surround yourself with those who absolutely are watering you. Y'all, it's been a great time. Y'all, here we go. Quick recap, because y'all know we're here for a good time, not a long time. Tip one, quickly acknowledging the hurt to accelerate the heal. This is pretty simple. Feel it, name it, move it. Drop that in the chat. Feel it. Listen, stop saying you're okay when you're not. It's okay. And your real people will honor that. Your real people they will hold you up in that. So many times we think, oh, I don't have anybody. Well, you don't have anybody because you keep telling everybody you're okay. And you're not. Like, it's okay. And I'm not saying everybody deserves a front row seat to your vulnerability. That is not what I'm saying, right? But you know your people. You know your people, right? So feel it, name it, move it. When we're talking about acknowledging the hurt to accelerate the heal, talking about your reframe game, flip it, right? Frame it, and then find the win. So again, what's your power phrase? What's the power phrase? And then protecting your perspective. Check your circle to fuel your soul. Y'all, what's your one takeaway from tonight? Talking about a takeaway, y'all are so awesome. Told you a good time, not a long time. Y'all see this QR code? Which way? Over there. Yeah, there it goes down there. You need to make sure you are joining us in New Orleans for the Boss Retreat. It's a very exclusive, intimate, you don't want to miss it, right? This is a unique space where we are pouring into women who are powerhouses. You can be a powerhouse, but you need to be poured into as well. We're going to dance, we're going to have a great time, but we also strategizing. We're brainstorming. How do we walk away from the experience better? How do we stand taller? And y'all, can we be honest? Some of us are struggling. Like, life has happened and you're struggling with your confidence. Like, you've had a setback, and the setback has you questioning not only your sanity, but your ability to be successful. I need to talk to you off the screen, right? So meet me in New Orleans. I'm so excited. We have a very diverse group of women who have already signed up. So I'm so honored to that. But again, right over there you go. And I'll drop it in the chat as well. Make sure that you have your ticket to meet us. We only have about 14 more days for you to purchase those, because you also get custom items. So again, here we go. She said, I like to feel it, name it, move it. What's your one takeaway from tonight? What's the one thing that, you know what, there was a nugget that I needed to be reminded of, or that's a nugget that I need to share with somebody else? Because again, a part of what we do here on this live, sometimes it might not be the topic that you need, but it might be something that you need to help support the other people that are around you, whether they're, at the schoolhouse or in your personal house. So again, what's your one takeaway from tonight? Make sure you drop that in the chat. Y'all, it's a great week to be you. Don't forget to make sure that you grab those boss tickets, and know that It's a phenomenal time of year for us to come and visit with you in your settings to provide keynotes, to provide retreats, workshop, professional development, coaching, all things culture, all things leadership. Is always our honor to be with you. Speaking of that, I am headed to Georgia. I'm headed to Texas, right? And we can add your state too. So make sure that you reach out again. It's been a pleasure to be with you guys tonight. Thank you, my fellow boss educator. I love a reframe confirmation. Yeah, it's been great to be with you. We hope something was said tonight that will remind you you are exactly where you need to be. You are exactly where you need to be. Just stay like positioned in purpose. Don't give up. Things are not easy, but remember what I started out telling you. Every successful person you know, I assure you, they've been through a situation that could have left them bitter, but they decided they would let it make them better. Y'all remember, go be bold, optimistic, spontaneous, and substantial. Drop it in the chat. It's a great week to make a boss move. Y'all drop it in the chat. I'm making boss moves. Go make boss moves this week. Remember, there is somebody who's not going to get to where they need to be unless you show up tomorrow as the realest, best, both boss version of yourself. Y'all be boss. We'll see you guys next time.